All right, guys, what is going on? My name is Pipe Bomb City, and welcome to my opinion of the top 10 WWE slash NXT matches of 2016. I said slash NXT, even though I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. There's only one NXT match because this year, I haven't witnessed that many NXT matches, so I felt it was unfair of me to put NXT matches in here that people say were great, but I didn't see it myself. So I've seen every single one of WWE pay-per-view matches and most of Raw and SmackDowns, but these are my opinion, guys, because I know some of y'all are going to disagree. For starters, Owens versus Zayn at Battleground didn't make my list. And I know a lot of people love that damn match, and it's like, ooh, how could you be a true wrestling fan and you don't put that in the top 10? I'm sorry. All right, but that's just my opinion. So if you guys got a complaint, just don't tell me. But again, guys, 2016, I already made my top 10 superstars of 2016, guys. But this is just like, there's been so many good matches. It was really tough to decide. Again, there were so many close calls for making this list. Owens versus Zayn was up there, but it didn't make my list. And you know, man, I watched the match. It was great, but in my opinion, it just wasn't as good as these ones, you know? So whatever, man, enough talking. Be sure to check my Instagram at PipeBombCity. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Now, getting in to number 10 here. This is the interesting part here. It would have been, to sum it up, number 10 happened at Money in the Bank 2016. It was the Money in the Bank ladder match, guys. This was a very fast-paced, intense match, and I really loved it, man. This was when everybody thought Owens was going to win and Ambrose was going to. It was between those two. This made Cesaro shine. It made the Owens and rivalry shine. It made Ambrose go into a league of his own. This was truly the beginning. It had some great moments with Jericho, and Del Rio was there too. So pretty much, guys, it was a great match. It was long, it was highly intense, and I loved every second of it, all right? Number 9, we're going to have to come in. And kind of a letdown, but at the same time, it was a great match. Number 9 is the Shield triple threat match, Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns at Battleground 2016. Now, I say it was kind of a letdown, man, because a lot of people were hyping this match up for so long, and then it just didn't. It should be number 1 from how people were building it up to be, you know, but in my opinion, it deserves to be in the top 10, but it doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. You know, it was a great match, a great storyline, a storyline that was the main build up for this, you know, like the Shield breaking up and they're all on their own. And ironically, Ambrose is the champion, not Reigns or Rollins. Ambrose was the champion, walks out of there as champion. The reason why this isn't higher on the list, I feel like they were building it up too much as Raw versus SmackDown, you know, because in the beginning of the year, it was, or I should say once the draft happened, this was the first pay-per-view following the draft, and they were focusing a little bit too much on Foley versus Shane and all the general managers, and they focused on that again a little too much. So that's why it's so low on the list, but it totally deserves to be in the top 10, guys. It was a great match. The storyline lived up to the hype, and it truly was the dream match that everybody was looking forward to, guys. Now, here we go, coming in at number 8. A lot of people didn't like this match, but in my opinion, it deserves to be on the list. Number 8 is the 2016 Royal Rumble match, guys. A lot of people are going to say, wow, how could you put the Royal Rumble match on this list? In my opinion, I love this match. It had the debut of AJ Styles. It had some great damn moments. Reigns got eliminated. It was just great. And I know Reigns fans are going to be like, oh, you suck at it. I'm sorry, all right? It was just a joke. Don't hate. It was good, guys. Unlike the 2015 and 2014 Royal Rumble, it was tons of new stars and tons of high action, where previous Royal Rumbles lacked in those aspects. Before, it was like, oh, we got all these old guys winning and we got all this booing talent. But this was like completely fan-friendly, guys. And not even that, the match itself was so great. The only part I really didn't like about it was some of the parts in the beginning were too slow. And then towards the end, the shit with Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar, I didn't like that, man. I really just didn't like that. But then Triple H ended up getting the win, and it was just a phenomenal match. And phenomenal, man. AJ Styles debuted, and it was just incredible. I loved every second of it, guys. And even though a lot of people don't think that this match deserves to be number 8, in my opinion, it does. Now, getting into number 7 here. A lot of people love this one. Completely opposite of what I just said earlier for number 8. Number 7 is AJ Styles versus John Cena at SummerSlam. This was the trilogy of the trilogy. No, it was the 3rd match of the trilogy. This was the ending between the Styles and Cena rivalry for their one-on-one. All right, this was before Styles became champion. This was his big moment. You know, he lost to Jericho in the spring. He lost to Reigns in the early summer, and this was his coming out party. He defeated Cena in this match in a phenomenal, I hate to use the word phenomenal because that's like, oh, AJ Styles, but whatever. It was a great match, guys. I fully enjoyed it. Stone Cold Steve Austin fucking loved this match. I hate to disagree with him. You know, I can't. I love this match. It was so damn good, and there were so many high-intensity spots towards the end of that match. And it truly was, again, Cena passing the torch. And Styles has been on a roll and dominating the SmackDown Live brand ever since this match happened. So everyone can hate on Cena, man. But the reason that Styles is really in a league of his own right now is because it all started with big match John taking the L. Now, coming in next, we got my favorite women's match of all time. It was, you already know, the Divas / Women's Championship triple threat match at WrestleMania 32. What a fucking showstopper, man. This is my favorite women's match of all time, my favorite women's match of the year. Which makes sense. I sound like an idiot, but still, it was a great match, man. Although it was a little bit too short. I think it made it over 10 minutes, but it wasn't over 20. The entry, not counting the entrances. But the in-ring action that went on was phenomenal. Charlotte's somersaults, Becky's submissions, Sasha's just incredible high-paced movesets, all connected into one match, guys. And the entrances were so amazing, man. You know, it really just felt like this mattered. This was the beginning of the Raw Women's Championship, and just it was the Women's Championship at the time. This was the beginning of that. It showed how great women's wrestling can be, and it was truly the start of a new era, and it brought everybody into a league of their own. It was just phenomenal, man. I love this match, highly rated, and it truly does deserve to be, and it barely missed the top 5. It was close, but I have to give number 5. It happened at Survivor Series 2016. It was Team Raw versus Team SmackDown Live. This was close, all right? But this one felt, I feel like the women's match felt more important, but this was important itself, but the match was so good. It was just great, you know? It felt slow at times, but then there were so many great spots and great moments. Like the only thing I really don't like about this match was that Shane's like punches and shit. I don't know what he was going for, but all those weird punches and shit, like, ooh, I do MMA. Look at these. Chop, chop, chop. And it was just so damn ugly looking. And then you had Ellsworth eliminating Strowman from under the ring, which it was creative, but I don't like Ellsworth, man. And it just felt like, and it was a good way to eliminate Strowman without really hurting him. But in my opinion, man, I just didn't like that spot. But really, when we got Styles versus Owens, Wyatt versus Strowman, Rollins and Reigns versus Ambrose, Shane's amazing spot with Reigns, and the table breaking through and Ambrose coming through security, and then the Wyatts being the sole survivors and winning Team SmackDown Live's gold. There wasn't really gold involved, but whatever. It was truly a great match, and this was really the spot where Wyatt and Orton like claimed the division, and then they went on to win the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. This was the beginning of Bray Wyatt. It was pretty much, I'm assuming that this is going to be one of the last matches that Champion Man ever had. It was the first time we got to see the World Champ versus the Universal Champ, the Shield Triple Threat, Jericho attacking Owens, the list. All right, you know what I'm saying, guys. Again, high-paced, but the reason it's number 5, there were some really slow spots. But getting into number 4, guys, all these matches are great, but this is when shit really picks up. I am in love with this next match. Number 4 is coming in at TLC 2016. A TLC match for the WWE Championship, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. This was such a great match. I remember watching it, man, and that live review watch along on my channel, y'all, advertising. Go check it out. I was so, looking back, every single like amazing spot they did, it was just so great. I gave such big reactions and I was fully invested in the match. And unlike the main event that happened at Roadblock, where I was just like silent and there wasn't that many like big moments, this was huge. There were moments everywhere. And oh my God, Ellsworth had to fuck it up. That's the one bad part, man. Ellsworth just fucked it up. It was one of the few times where Styles had to, well, I was about to say cheat to win, but looking back, he's a fucking heel. That's what he does. But whatever. I don't like that Ellsworth was involved, but other than that, man, there were no general managers and shit involved. There weren't any real interferences other than Ellsworth, which even that played in with the storyline. There were so many high action spots, and it truly is just amazing. If you guys, and it's very underrated. A lot of people didn't buy into the rivalry in the match, but if you haven't seen this fucking match, I highly recommend you check it out. All right. Top 3, bitches. Let's get into this. Top 3 is the only Raw match that is on here, or anything that isn't a pay-per-view match. It is the WWE Universal Championship, a fatal 4-way match between Roman Reigns, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins. This was really interesting, man. I didn't plan. When I was making the list, I thought of great matches. And really, this was one of the first ones I thought of because it was so damn good. This was really the first time we got to see Big Cass on his own and play into that main event scene. Reigns looked good as hell. Rollins was sadly the weakest part of this. Not counting his amazing spot with Triple H. That was phenomenal. And then Owens ended up winning the title, and it was just great. It was so damn good. But Rollins was the weakest link, I believe, in this match because of that damn babyface run. I just couldn't. Or was he a babyface at this time? No, this is when he turned into a babyface. Oh, I completely forgot. But still, man, Rollins was just, I feel like he was overshadowed up until the Triple H part, and I don't know why, because all 4 of these guys connected so well with each other. I feel like when, unfortunately, Big Cass was eliminated, shit really started to pick up. And I love Big Cass, but that's just what happened. It was just so damn good. I feel like it's the best Raw match they produced this year and years before. You know what, man? The momentous occasion to crown the 2nd ever Universal Champion, and you had 4 guys who truly deserved to be the contender, and this was the beginning of not so good Kevin Owens' reign, right, man? Getting in to number 2, all right? Number 2 here is coming in, and this was so damn close between number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 32. We had Owens, Zayn, Stardust, Miz, Ziggler, Ryder, and Sin Cara. Sin Cara, what the fuck? Why is Sin Cara in the number 2 greatest match of 2016? Why is Stardust? Why is Zack Ryder? I can understand everybody else. But really, man, you got to understand, looking back, a lot of people were injured at this time. And then a lot of people were looking at this match, and because everybody's injured, I think like 15 plus members of the active roster were gone because of injuries and shit. And everyone was like, wow, this match is gonna suck ass when you have Stardust, Sin Cara, and Zack Ryder. And really, all 7 of these guys went out there, and it was just such a great match. The reactions I gave to this match were truly amazing. And I believe this is so underrated. I tell people that this is one of my favorite matches on the internet because the internet's a dangerous place. And everyone's like, how do you like this match? This is shit. It doesn't deserve to be even in the top 10. I said, how can you say this was such a great match? And I feel like one of the big factors why this wasn't number 1 is because Zack Ryder won. And at the time, it was like, wow, are they finally going to push Zack Ryder? And what a twist. It came out of nowhere, and he had this amazing moment. He's the Intercontinental Champion. What are they going to do with this? And then it escalated to absolutely nothing. And yeah, he was winning matches with the Hype Bros later in the year, and now he's injured, and that's sad. But at the time, from May, June, July, August, September, October, November, well, not November, but October and after this WrestleMania, it didn't lead to anything. And that was one of the downsides because Owens lost. In history, it will say Owens lost to Zack Ryder. Thankfully, The Miz won it the next night. But again, that's also a bad thing. And you get what I'm saying. This was the beginning of The Miz truly being like one of the greatest heel. I ranked him number 4 in my top 10 superstars of 2016 because he was so. This was truly like what his coming out party into his giant heel essence. And then Ziggler performed really great. A lot of people were saying, "Ooh, Ziggler's bad at ladder matches. Ooh, he fucking stole the show." Owens and Zayn had tons of moments. Owens had a huge pop, and so did Zayn. Sin Cara, I don't give a shit. Stardust went out there with the Dusty Rhodes attire, and he put on a great match. And then, of course, Zack Ryder I just discussed. But again, great match, highly paced, tons of great spots. And coming in at number 1, I already told you guys I haven't seen that many NXT matches, so I couldn't really rate that many. But I did see NXT TakeOver Dallas. You already know where this is going. Number 1 is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. Last year's winner of my top 10 WWE matches of 2015, I put at the Royal Rumble, it was John Cena, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That was my number 1 match last year. This year, what a turn of events. NXT TakeOver Dallas, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. Oh my God, this was the beginning of Shinsuke Nakamura. This was the highlight of NXT this year. And just WWE as a whole. And when this is just pro wrestling, this truly felt like, and you could say WWE is the grandest stage of them all, but I felt like this match, that crowd that night, that show, that stage, these two men, y'all, this was the definition of a perfect pro wrestling match. It was the debut of the future face of NXT, Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was the retirement of NXT's long-loved Sami Zayn. Nakamura was coming in to take his throne, and this was the passing of the torch. Nobody thought Zayn would win, and yeah, they were right, but still, that didn't make it any less exciting. This was so amazing, and I think it just added that extra excitement knowing that this was Nakamura's first match, and he made it to the WWE, and it was just so damn good. Some of those shots that were taken, some of the blows that were thrown, it really is just the perfect pro wrestling match. And this is, I've been saying for most of this list, like, oh, this match is underrated. Oh, this match deserves all the credit that it gets because it was just great. And then towards the end, when Sami Zayn left and he was alone in the ring and he had that moment with Nakamura and he went on to WrestleMania the next day to put on a phenomenal Intercontinental title match, which came in at number 2 on this list. Yeah, so, oh yeah, I just realized Zayn is in the number 1 and number 2 best matches in my ranking. That's pretty funny. I didn't even notice that. But man, it was just so emotional that night. The crowd bought into it. Shinsuke's theme was just fucking amazing. I love it. I saw that violin. Holy shit. But again, guys, that is my number 1 favorite match of 2016. Again, guys, this was all my opinion. I feel like that these are the 10 best matches of 2016. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This has been Pipe Bomb City. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Check my Instagram at Pipe Bomb City. What do you guys think the 10 best matches of 2016 are? Tell me in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. This has been Pipe Bomb City. Thank you so very much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.